Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel and another vlog. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Meta. I'm so glad you guys are here. If you saw the title of this video, you know we're going to be doing a Q&A, get to know me. If you're new to my channel or if you've been watching me for a while, you might know all of these. But if you do, let me know down below how long you've been watching me for. I got my tea in my cute cup. It's so hot, so I have to be careful. I can like drop it all over myself. Tell me this is not like the cutest cup ever. I have my favorite cinnamon spice tea, and yeah, I screenshotted a bunch of questions that I felt like would be good to answer, so let's go through them and you guys can get to know me a little bit better. But first, perfect. First of all, let me do like a little bit of an introduction and kind of just a lot of the questions were asking me, like how old I am, like where I'm originally from. My name is Meta. I'm 27 years old. I just turned 27 last month. And I am married. I've been married for 5 years now. My husband, Mustafa, he's Palestinian. I'm Syrian. I was born in Syria, moved to the States when I was 3, and have been here ever since in Texas. And yeah, that's a little bit of an introduction about myself. Now let's get into the rest of the video. Okay, first question. What is a Ramadan tradition you're looking forward to the most? I love your content, by the way. Thank you so much. And I cannot believe Ramadan is almost here, you guys. I'm so excited. Stay tuned for all the Ramadan content. I do it every year and it's just like my favorite time of year. I love the feeling Ramadan brings. It's like there's nothing like it. There's truly nothing like it. But I'd say my favorite tradition I look forward to every year, I guess you could say like the iftars, the family iftars. We always get together, not every night, but most nights in Ramadan we get together with my entire family and we have iftar together. We, you know, break our fast together. And it's something I look forward to because I'm a very family-oriented girly. I love my family so much. We're all very close. There is nothing better than getting together with the ones you love the most and just getting to spend the most time with them. So I love that each Ramadan, you know, we all get to come together and spend a lot of time together. Not with just my family, but with my friends too. It's such a good time. This is a good question. It says, what are some red flags in a guy? How did you know Mustafa was the one? So I feel like some red flags you should look for, and some I guess I looked for as well, was like if like from the jump, if they're like just giving off vibes that they're not really looking for anything serious, they're kind of just looking just to like talk or, you know, have fun or whatever, like that's a huge red flag. You should know from the beginning if a guy is serious, and you will know if a guy is serious from the beginning because of his actions, what he's telling you, you know, how he talks to you. Like, is he trying to get to know you or is he just trying to play games with you basically? And so that's like a huge red flag for me from the start. Like if they're not showing interest in you, then don't waste your time and get out of there. I guess another one would be like if the way they speak to you, like if they're very disrespectful, if they don't treat you good, then their actions are just not going to get better. Like if they're treating you like that from the beginning, then I just feel like they're not that serious about you and you deserve better than that. This one says, has your hair changed since becoming a hijabi? Is it breaking, brittle, receding hairline, etc.? Okay, so no, I actually have not experienced any of that, and I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I'm not the best at keeping up with my hair, like hair oiling and masks and all that. Like I'm just not into that. Like I just don't have time for that. So I feel like I could definitely be doing more for my hair to take care of it, but for the most part I haven't noticed like my hairline receding or like it falling out or anything like that. But I have heard of that happening to people. I think something that has helped me tremendously with that is like someone actually gave me this tip, and I don't remember who it was, but they told me, this was before I started wearing hijab, they were like, hey, make sure to change your hairline, like the way you part your hairline every time you wear your hijab, or like every week change it up at least, and that way you won't experience hair loss. Because it's so true. Like if you think about it, if you're just keep parting your hair, like on this side for instance, every day you're wearing a really tight like undercap, then your hair is just gonna like that part is just gonna start getting like less hair growth right here. Or if you like only part it in the middle, you know, like if you keep on parting it right down the middle every day, it's gonna get thinner and thinner right here because you're putting too much pressure on that area. So I think that was a great tip that's actually helped me so much. So I can't remember, I think when I first started wearing it I would do a different hair like part every day because I was so scared. But I feel like if you just change it up like once a week, then you should be fine. Like 1 week part your hair right here, 1 week part your hair in the middle, 1 week part your hair this side, And yeah, I think you should be good. Like, I haven't noticed any hair loss or anything like that, but I do recommend also doing the hair oiling and things for hair growth because that probably helps, but I'm just lazy. But yeah, I feel like that would be good as well. Okay, I got a lot of questions asking me how many siblings I have. It's funny because I feel like a lot of people think it's just me and Omar because my other 2 siblings, they're a lot older. So we're 4 total. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. So my oldest brother and sister are actually twins. Their names are Hassan and Sabah, and they just turned 41. So my mom had them really young. She had them at 17. My mom got married really young. She got married at 16. So she just had them really young. And then 9 years later, she had my brother Omar. And I could not tell you how old he is. How old's Omar? 32?
I think he just turned 32.
I think he just turned 32. Well, he's 5 years older than me. Yeah, he just turned 32. And then 5 years later, she had me. And I am 27. So yeah, 2 brothers and 1 sister, and we're all really close. It's just that I don't really show my sister and my brother as much as Omar because Omar like is already on social media and stuff, and my other siblings are not really on social media that much. Okay, this question's asking me how old were you when you got married. I think I was 21. I was 21. I was about to turn 22. I was 21. We did our Fatiha when I was 19. We did our Ketbiktab when I was 20, and then we did our wedding when I was 21. And I feel like that's so young. Like, I was such a baby. Like, I think back then I was like, I'm not a baby. Like, I'm a grown woman. It's not too young, but like now that I look back at it, I'm like, oh my god, I was so young. Like, that's crazy to me. This is a really cute question. It says, what's your best advice from a mother to a mother-to-be, inshallah? So my advice to you if you are becoming a new mom is don't be so hard on yourself, and don't think that you need to know everything like right when you have the baby. I promise you, like, it might seem like me and other moms on TikTok or whatever you see online, like we all have it together and we know everything, and it's so not true. Like, do not believe everything you see online, and we're all struggling. Like, you can prepare so much before, but you're never gonna actually know how to do like certain things until you experience it and do it yourself. So don't think that like you are not doing as good as you might see others are doing. I promise you're doing great. Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't be afraid to like ask for help from others, because we all struggle. I promise we all do. And becoming a mom is the most beautiful thing, but it's also can be really hard on you mentally. So yeah, just hang in there and know you're doing great. I think I already answered this, but it says how old were you when you arrived to the US from Syria? I was 3 years old. So I don't remember like living over there, of course, but my parents used to take us every 2 years. So every other summer we would go and we'd spend the whole summer there, and it was just the best time, and I wish I cherished it more. The last time we went was when I was 11, so I was really young. You don't know to cherish those moments when you're so young, but when you get older, you're like, oh my god, like I really wish I would have cherished those moments more, because like I haven't been there since I was 11 and I want to go back so bad. I miss my family, and Syria is just a piece of heaven on earth for me. I love it so much, and I miss my family so much. This says, anxiety update please, how are you dealing? You guys, my magnesium is helping me so much. I take 2. It's like the dosage is you take 2 before bed, and it helps me sleep. It helps calm my anxiety. I don't know why, but for me, the anxiety starts up really bad like at nighttime. And a lot of people have said the same thing to me. They're like, yeah, my anxiety gets really bad for me at night too. I don't know what it is, but at night is when my anxiety gets real bad. And I take two magnesiums. It helps me so much. I can link the exact magnesium below that I take. It's such a good brand. And I was taking prescription medicine for my anxiety because I started having panic attacks. But then I was like, I don't want to be on medicine. Just me personally, I didn't like the way it was making me feel, and I just didn't want to be addicted to it, and just all that stuff. Side effects, you know, all that stuff. So I was like, I'm just gonna wean myself off of it. I weaned myself off of it, and I was so scared my panic attacks were gonna come back, but alhamdulillah they didn't, and my magnesium has just replaced it, and it's been doing wonders for me. With that being said, I know now what my triggers are. Caffeine, huge trigger of me. I can only have a certain amount of caffeine per day. And sugar triggers my anxiety so much. So I have to watch those 2 things a lot, or else it will just come on and I'm like, oh my god, I screwed up. I shouldn't have ate that candy bar, or I shouldn't have whatever, like whatever it is. And it's crazy because I never ever used to have this issue. Like used to, I could eat as much sugar as I wanted and no anxiety symptoms. Same with coffee. I could drink so much coffee, not have any symptoms. It's crazy, the older you get, the more like things come up and you're like, what is happening? It's crazy. But yeah, just find out what your triggers are and try to minimize those as much as you can. I know it's hard, but it's worth it if you don't want to deal with those symptoms anymore. This question is asking me, do you feel like life after kids changes? And 100% it does. Now, I'm not saying it changes for the worse though. It does change for the better, I promise. Life after kids, it's different. I will say it's different. It's not going to be like your life before kids where you can wake up whenever you want. You can just get ready and be out of the house within like 5 minutes. Like, no, that's all going to change. But I promise, like, kids just bring so much joy and happiness into your life. And I can, like, me and Mustafa talk all the time. We're like, can't even remember our lives before Matic. Like, what was life before Matic? It was so boring. And now he just fills our house with so much happiness and joy and love, and like, alhamdulillah, we love him so much. We cannot picture our life without him. And yeah, I just think all the time, like, how was I living before you? Like, he's just like my everything. But you definitely have to learn how to live with a child. I will say that. Like, nothing's gonna be the same anymore. Everything changes, but it's for the better, I promise. If you're in the trenches right now, trust me, we've all been there. We've all struggled. We've all went through depression after having kids, and just getting to a new normal. Like, you literally have to have a new routine because everything is just different. But trust me, you can do it, I promise. This cup is perfect for Valentine's Day. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, you guys. Happy early Valentine's Day. And then Ramadan. I'm so excited. Okay, this question says, how do you juggle it all? I feel like I've touched on this a little bit, and it might seem, because I was just telling you guys, like, it might seem like online, like, oh my god, they know what they're doing so good, they're doing it all. And like, I promise it's not like that. Like, some days I'm struggling and I'm down and I'm not happy and I'm not like whatever, but online, like, we only show our good side, so you guys don't get to see the other side of it, which is what you guys are probably experiencing as well, because it's normal. We're all human and we have emotions and feelings and struggles and things like that. So don't ever compare your life to someone else because you might see that they're doing so good on social media, because I promise, like, that's just not even half of what our life is. We just can't show it all, and we don't tend to show the bad or sad or whatever moments. Like, when we're down, we just tend to show when we're up and happy and, you know, just doing good. So I feel like I can relate to you guys because I see that too. I see just all the good from other people, but I promise, like, it's not all like that 100% of the time, trust me. So with that being said, like, it might seem like I juggle it all really well, but I get really overwhelmed a lot of the time. So don't think that anything you're doing or feeling is wrong, because it's not. This question is saying, what's my biggest struggle as a mom? This is a good question. I feel like my biggest struggle is, like, I want to just, like, I feel so bad or guilty, like, if I'm editing or, like, I have to film something and, like, I just want to spend all my time with Malik, and I just feel so guilty, like, at the end of the night, if I felt like I didn't spend enough time with him during the day, I just, like, will literally break down and cry because I just feel so bad. Like, I guess I just want to spend, like, all my time with him, and I know that's not realistic, and I do spend a lot of time with him. Like, I do. I take him to the park, we go run errands together, we do all the things, but also we have to work too, and I also work part-time as ultrasound tech, so. But I feel like a lot of people would be able to relate to that. Like, you just want to spend all your time with your children, and they grow up so fast, and you're like, you blink and then they're already like a year older. Like, Malik is almost 3, mashallah. He turns 3 the end of this month. This month is such a busy month, but I just feel like I blinked and 3 years have passed by, and I'm like, I want to spend more time with you. Like, I just want to cherish every moment with him, and it's just like, yeah, it's a struggle of mine. It's a struggle I deal with, that I always feel like I want to do more for him. I want to spend more with him, and I want to just, yeah, I just want to give him the world. He's just, oh, I love him so much. Okay, I got this question quite a few, so maybe you guys might be new to my channel, the ones that are asking me this, but it says, how did me and Mustafa meet? And I'm really sorry if you've heard this story like a million times. That's why I don't like to answer it, but I feel like there's a lot of people that are new, so I'm just gonna make it really short. It's a long story, but long story short, so right after high school, I was working in a pharmacy as a pharmacy tech because I was just working through ultrasound school. Actually, I hadn't gotten into ultrasound school yet. I was applying for the program. But I was like, let me get like a part-time job because what else am I gonna do while I'm going to school? Make some money. So I was working at a pharmacy in my hometown, and Mustafa at this moment was in pharmacy school, which I didn't know him yet, of course. But he was in pharmacy school. It was his second year in pharmacy school, and he's 3 years older than me. So he was like already, you know, he already got his undergrad, and he was like in his career, like he was in the pharmacy program and stuff. So he's in his second year of pharmacy school. I'm in my first year of college, so I was just going to my job as regular, and he actually had been placed at the pharmacy I was working at because you know they have to do rotations while they're in pharmacy school, and so they placed him at my pharmacy, which is crazy because the pharmacy I worked at was like in my hometown. It was like really small. It was just crazy and bizarre, so subhanAllah they had placed him there, so keep that in mind. But anyways, I just show up to work one day and he's in the pharmacy, and I'm like, who is that? Like, he's so cute. I thought he was so attractive. I made the first move. Like, I introduced myself to him because I was like, he's a cutie, don't want to let him pass by. Like, what if I never see him again? Because I'm never gonna see him again. I didn't know who he was. Turns out he's Muslim and Arab and like all this stuff, and yeah, I was shocked. He was shocked. And the rest is history. But yeah, that's the story of how we met. This is a funny one. It says, is Omar your favorite sibling? I feel like you guys might think that because you might just see videos of me and him together all the time. I will say, like, me and Omar were the closest growing up because he was only 5 years older than me, and my other siblings were married and out of the house like by the time I hit like 12 years old. So I feel like me and him were the closest growing up because we kind of felt like it was just us two because our siblings were just so much older than us, and I always felt like my older brother and sister were like parents. Like, I always felt like my sister was my second mom and my oldest brother was my second dad because they were just so much older than me. Like, can you imagine? They're like 14 years older than me. So growing up, me and Ahmad were the closest, but now, like, that I'm older, I'm married, I have my own kid, I can relate to them so much more, and we're a lot closer now. But growing up, me and Omar were definitely the closest. With that being said, I wouldn't say he's my favorite sibling. I just felt like me and him were the closest growing up, but now we're all pretty close. So yeah, I love them all. This question, have I ever wanted to be a nurse? Curious, why did you choose ultrasound? I chose ultrasound because I did not want to be a nurse. My brother was a nurse, and just a few people that I knew were nurses, or they were wanting to do nursing, and it just wasn't for me. Like, nothing about it seemed interesting to me. Like, I did not want to deal with people's, first of all, blood. Like, no, I don't like needles, I don't like blood. I'm sorry, I just can't deal with like poop and pee, and it's just not me. Like, I was like, I just can't do that. So I was like, what is something I can do that does not involve cleaning people up and doing, because nurses, you guys, they do like the hard like labor work. Like, it's hard being a nurse. Like, they deal with a lot. And I'm not saying ultrasound you don't deal with a lot. You do deal with a lot, but you don't have to deal with like blood, pee and poop and like all that other stuff. Like that, I'm like, oh, like, let me call you a nurse because that's not my job. Like, I just can't do that. So I was like, what is something I can do that does not involve cleaning people up and doing, because nurses, you guys, they do like the hard like labor work. Like, it's hard being a nurse. Like, they deal with a lot. And I'm not saying ultrasound you don't deal with a lot. You do deal with a lot, but you don't have to deal with like blood, pee and poop and like all that other stuff. Like that, I'm like, oh, like, let me call you a nurse because that's not my job. Like, when I was working in a hospital, like, if a patient like pooped while I was like doing their ultrasound or something, because we do like a lot of inpatient like at a hospital, and like these patients, it's not their fault. Like, they're sick, and some were like, you know, in a coma. Like, it's just a lot. anyways, like if that were to happen, or like they'd pee the bed or whatever, I'm like, I'll be right back. Like, I'm gonna boot your nurse because I can't deal with this. I just can't. I literally can't. I will gag, I will throw up. So it's not good for me or the patient, and that's exactly how I knew that nursing was not for me, and I went the ultrasound route. And let me just say, I'm glad I did that, because I figured out that hospital life is not for me. I left the hospital. I work in a private clinic now, and I don't have to deal with any like hospital things, and it's just so much better. Patients come in walking, they're able to turn their bodies and move for me and get on the bed by themselves, and I'm not having to do any like that labor work. And also, I just really love ultrasound. It was just a passion of mine ever since I was a freshman in high school. Like, I loved it. So I always wanted to do it, and I love it. I'm so glad I picked the career I chose. And yeah, if you are also someone who's not into what nurses do, look into ultrasound. You can even go shadow an ultrasound tech and see if you like it. But yeah, I love it. This question says, did you find it hard to marry someone that's not Syrian? So if you guys don't know, this is a good question. If you guys don't know, Mustafa is not Syrian. Actually, a lot of people think he's Syrian. I don't know why, but he's not Syrian. He's Palestinian. And I never, like, growing up, I never was like, oh, I have to marry a Syrian. My mom was never like, you have to marry a Syrian. It was just like, if you find a guy and he's good and he treats you good and, you know, all that, then we don't have a problem with it, basically. And so, like, when I found out Mustafa was Palestinian, like, it didn't affect me at all. Like, it didn't bother me. I was just happy that, of course, he was Muslim. Not only was he Muslim, but he was Arab too. So I didn't find it hard that he wasn't Syrian, because I just, like, it's never been an issue for us. Like, we don't really have that many differences, I guess you could say. Like, of course, our culture is not exactly the same, like dialect and things like that, but for the most part, like, we don't struggle at all with it. So that's just us. I know, like, a lot of people might be different than that, but Palestinian Syrian mix is really cute, and I love that our kids, like, are half and half. I just think that's adorable. This is a good question. It says, what are your favorite girl names? Also, if Malik was a twin, what would the other boy name be? Okay, so we have like a ginormous list, because like before we found out if it was a girl or boy, we just made a list for girls and boys. For the girls, we had like so many names written down. For boys, we had only a few, because boy names are so hard. They're just so hard. I don't know why. Like, I want to pick a name that's Arab, of course, but I also want it to be easy to pronounce to people here. So I felt like Malik was the only name we actually agreed on. There was a few other that I liked that Mustafa was like about, like Jad. I loved the name Jad so much. We don't know anyone here named Jad, and I just thought it was a cute name, but Mustafa felt like they would not be able to pronounce it here, and he just wasn't a fan of that name. Also, really love the name Ali. I think Ali is such a cute name, and I feel like maybe if we had another boy, like, that would be on my list, because I just really like that name. I really like the name Hamza. Love the name Hamza. Again, here, don't know how they would pronounce it. I feel like they call him Hamza, so I don't know about that. And also, what were some other names? Yusuf and Eunice. I love both of those names a lot, and I think, yeah, those are some of the ones that we had written down that I really like. Now for girls, I love girl Arabic names. They're just so freaking cute. Like Lana. I love the name Zaina so much. I love Syrian, such a cute name. I love Tala, Jenna. Oh my god, I love that name so much. Those are just a few. I really like the name Farah, and I just feel like Farah and Marah is cute. Now, I don't know if I'd name my daughter Farah, but I just think it's a cute name. My mom was going between Farah and Marah for my name, fun fact. But yeah, she was like, you were either gonna be Farah or Marah. I couldn't decide, but then her and my dad decided that they liked Marah more, but I was like this close to being named Farah. Okay, I'm gonna make this my last question. They're saying what to do when you're 27, single, lonely, even with friends, and trying to stay positive. So I feel like this is a good question, because it's kind of hard to not compare yourself or your life to your friends and family, right? If like they got married young, had kids young, and you feel like you're just behind in life, I feel like that's very common and normal to like feel that way. But just know that, you know, God has a plan for everyone, and God has a plan for you, and you might not know what that plan is yet, but I promise Like, it's gonna be bigger and better than anything you could have ever imagined, and your time is coming. And don't compare your life to others. I know it's hard, it's easier said than done, especially if you're feeling lonely and things like that. Try to pick up some hobbies. Try to, I know it might be hard to like find like friends or people that you enjoy talking to, spending time with, but put yourself out there and, you know, find new friends to talk to, or find new hobbies, try new things. I feel like just keeping yourself busy is what really will help you to feel less lonely, and also like get you in a better mindset. Because I know, like, for me, like, even being married and having kids, like, hormones just plays a big role in your emotions, and sometimes my hormones will make me feel just down and lonely as well. And so the best thing I've figured out for myself is like just keeping myself busy, like whether it's like doing things around the house or like social media is a huge thing for me to keep myself busy. Also, like going outside, getting fresh air, like just to pick up your mood or change your environment around you, because it can just get so repetitive and everything is just the same every day. Like, it can also make you feel down. So yeah, just try to put yourself out there, try new things, change your mindset, and hopefully those things will help you feel better. And try not to compare your life to others. I promise, like, what is meant for you is gonna happen, and God has an amazing plan for you. You just might not know yet. But that was the last question, you guys. I'm almost done with my tea. It was so good. It's like so warm. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I love getting to sit down and talk to you guys, because I know I don't do it that often, but when I do, like, it's really nice. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want me to do more Q&As, let me know. Or if there's like a question that I didn't get to answer, let me know down below. I can answer it in the comments. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, comment down below your thoughts. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Stay tuned for Amazon content. I'm so excited.